And on the other side of the table, from China, Lin Shidong and kuaiman.
Here come the top seeds, the world #1 pairing, kuaiman leading in her teammate Lin Shidong. kuaiman was in action earlier on in the women's singles, looking very good indeed, but now her focus is fully on the mixed doubles. This pair are one of the most formidable mixed doubles partnerships in table tennis. Incredible synergy, a product of complementary playing styles, exceptional coordination, and a series of impressive victories on the international stage. They are world #1s for a reason. Well, Patrick Franzlska and Annett Kaufmann, they're an impressive duo in European table tennis. They've got the experience of Franzlska matched with the youthful energy of Kaufmann, and that is how they line up. The Chinese pair world #1 and the Europeans, the Germans, world #57. They only started playing together last year, and already they're making waves. Marcus Berger is back at the table. We talk about it being a busy day for these players. We'll see Annett Kaufmann a little later on at this table. kuaiman we've already seen in action. We've already seen this umpire at the table as well. It's a packed schedule for all involved here.
Match. Who will choose? I have red and black. Black for Germany, red for you. Red wins. Receive. So you have service. You want to this side? Kaufmann is serving. Okay, KUAI is receiving.
Coin toss complete, and the German pair look very relaxed indeed ahead of what is going to be a really formidable ask if they are to progress through to the next round. Let's have a chat, Adam Bobrow, about this German pair first of all. They've got a great mix, don't they? Because Patrick Franzlska is so experienced. He's a real steadying force. Annett Kaufmann, she's just a really exciting emerging star.
Yeah, she's a player who's been incredibly strong, world junior champion at the Olympic Games over the summer in 2024 in Paris. Had she had world rankings attached to her performance, she would have been well inside the top 100 by now. Her backhand's incredible. She's very stable, a bright future for Germany, and alongside the giant slayer, Patrick Franzlska, you're right, a strong pairing at 57th in the world.
Well, this pair, there isn't a pairing stronger than Lin Shidong and kuaiman. They won the mixed doubles final in Las Vegas at the inaugural US Smash just last month, overcoming Im Jong-hoon and Shin Yubin. Championship point, and Adam Bobrow, we were there in Las Vegas, and yet another win for this pair. I mean, they are untouchable, aren't they?
At the moment they are, and when you think about who's been filling stadiums for the last few years, the Chateau pair, Sun-Ying Xia and Wang Chuqin, these players here are on the verge of breaking a record, setting a new record in the WTT era. So it'll be interesting to see. I'll be very curious how fans feel. There's a lot to say about honor, personality, not just the skill on the table, but there's a reason why certain players have so many fans. Tamara Boros here, a legend of European table tennis, one of the best in the last 5 decades for European women. A lot of inspiration here for the players, though, with $1.55 million in prize money, 2,000 points to the champions. And as you can see, some of the best equipment in the game. The ball's a little bit heavier than usual, a little bit harder than usual. So it's fast, it doesn't spin quite as much. We'll see how that affects different players out here.
And the fan vote firmly in favor of Lin Shidong and kuaiman, perhaps unexpectedly. I mean, they have to be the heavy favorites, don't they, to win the very first US Smash. European Smash, they did win the US Smash, my apologies. Also winners of the Singapore Smash back in February as well. So they could be going for the clean sweep.
It does actually make them even a stronger favorite for the US Smash.
Kaufmann to serve, KUAI to receive. Love all.
Simply because I'm not a fortune teller, a future teller, but a past teller. 1 and 1.
We did just see them win the US Smash. I mean the Europe Smash.
No, I'm good at predicting the past. Good times here. The Germans. Second serve here.
2 love.
They're so adaptable as well, aren't they, this Chinese pair?
Yeah, I think they have so many ingredients here. They're so well prepared.
We love.
Just more evidence of that. We saw Lin Shidong earlier today against Omar Assar looking nearly unstoppable, and Omar played some spectacular rallies. Kuaiman here with a parallel out of reach.
Love 4.
First meeting as well between these two partnerships. And what can we expect from Kaufmann and Franzlska in order to impose themselves on this match?
Short game is going to be very important. Receive.
Love 5.
And in the touch game here, as you can see, this one popped up a bit. It's good variation from the Chinese pair to continue their streak. We got two very tall players on the German side, so wingspan will not be a shortcoming of theirs, but compactness, speed, staying near the table is going to be crucial. For me, that means taking some risks early. Kaufmann with the spin shot into the middle there, just to change of pace.
Five, 2.
Can you afford, though, to take risks if you are playing the world #1 pairing?
You can't afford... Oh, I'm sorry, if you're the world #1 pairing?
Against the world #1 pairing.
You can't afford not to. That's the thing.
3, 5.
It's sort of simple, but whenever you're playing someone who's expected to beat you, if you come out and play your average game, you can expect the average result. This is such a good long push. Franz deep into that wide. Check this out. Wide backhand side. Knocks Lin Shidong off balance. Gets a passive shot back. Much tighter game now.
And that's exactly what we saw Annett Kaufmann doing in her women's doubles yesterday alongside Yangtze Liu. She was so good at putting away these big forehand winners.
Step around. This is one of the advantages of having a righty-lefty combo. It's easier to get out of the way while still playing a quality shot with your forehand. 5 in a row for the German pair from down 0-5.
5, 6.
Well, it's not been the best of days for Team China, has it?
Yeah, I feel like best month even. It's been some time. Obviously, there's been some success. Tong Tong doing quite well. 6 of the last 8 points, the German pair.
7, 5.
Consolidating their lead now, and this is really impressive stuff with a lot of ground made up after that lightning quick start from the Chinese pair.
This is one of the many factors that's made Patrick Franzlska so dangerous, is his confidence and looseness. Again, when you've got that wingspan, you think side to side, but it's 360 degrees. He can reach out in front, and he does that very well.
7, 6.
He was involved in an absolute belter in the men's singles yesterday against Matthias Falk.
Yeah, and this one here, Kuaiman doing the same thing we've seen Annett Kaufmann do. Step around to play the forehand wide out of reach. 2 times in a row now. It's gone out to the wide forehand. Franz was turning the corner, anticipating a shot cross table, but she does the less likely shot, and it pays off. Short side, and he's burned. Oh, man. Leave early. Go ahead. I dare you.
7, 8.
Kaufmann is just so effective, isn't she? Getting these shots finished off. I really like watching her play. She's really exciting.
Yeah, she's very stable. Again, for someone as young as she is at only 19 years old, she's already been given all the faith from the German program.
9, 7.
Excellent chemistry as well, this German pair. And to say they only started playing together last year as well. It's amazing how quickly they've gelled.
It all starts there with that soft touch in to leave Kuaiman reaching across the table from the forehand. She has to push deep there to the backhand side.
9, 8.
It's been a topsy-turvy first game here. From down 0-5, the German pair scored 7 in a row. And a change of patterns here. Kuaiman says, you think you know where I'm going? Guess again.
8, 10.
And there's 2 game points for this German pair. And this is certainly not part of the plan for the world #1 pairing.
Patrick Franzlska even back in Tokyo with Patricia Solia, another left-handed German, came very close to beating the eventual gold medalists. So we know that he's got a lot of experience. He's strong in doubles, and with the strong lefty beside him, it's 2 game points for the Germans on receive.
And Kaufmann doing what she does best. That's a trademark.
Well, trademark marks the first game, Germany's property. It's best of 5, so it'll take 3 to get on through to the next round. But with the world #1s, if anything, as you said before, they're adaptable and they don't take losing lightly. With Xiao Zhan on their bench, there'll be a lot of conversation to adapt and come back stronger in game 2.
Das war wirklich gut. Ich habe nicht gedacht, dass sie den Parallel spielt. Nee, war stark von ihr, aber das war gut. Sie hat einmal getroffen, aber das war gut, weil du bist zu spät, ich denke, das war gut.
Time, please.
Game number 2, big game coming up. Let's head down to get the thoughts of John Dykes. What can you tell us, John, after that surprising game number 1?
Just quickly, obviously, as Adam noticed, it's Xiao Zhan who's actually coaching the Chinese pair. He's renowned for his fighting spirit, most obviously with his work with Zhang Yige. And there was a lot of finger pointing going on there, a lot of demonstrative stuff. And these two are going to come out fighting, you can be sure of it.
Thanks a lot, John. Interesting to see how game number 2 pans out. Well, it's not the start they would have wanted.
It's not the it's not the common shot to see Lin Shidong chopping. Good adjustment here, well played. Franz reading it perfectly to go deep to the forehand.
1-1.
It's a nice touch from Kuaiman.
Yeah, the speed game here with short strokes. Lin Shidong and Kuaiman there. Again, with taller players on the other side, targeting that elbow, the middle.
1-2.
It's not always going to be the answer, but it will be a target. And as we've seen Kuaiman do very successfully in game number 1, she's picked her places, when to go out to the wide forehand, when to hit middle.
3-1.
Or even in some cases, to step around and play it out of reach cross table.
Lethal from Lin Shidong.
The power that he gets with such a short stroke is just unbelievable. Again, if you looked at the guy, you wouldn't imagine he would have so much power in his shots.
1-5.
But timing, using the body correctly, this is our sport. And again, he's solid. His nickname is Stone, mostly because Shidong sounds like Chateau, which is a poor pronunciation of the Chinese word for stone.
1-6.
Well, Kaufmann looking down at her racket as if to search for some answers there as to how she didn't manage to clear the net. It's a 5-point lead for the top seeds, but they had that 5-point lead in game 1, didn't they?
Sure did.
6-2.
They did for a moment, and then 7 points later, they were down 5-7. I cannot expect the same. Ooh, that emoji right there. Ooh. Lin Shidong giving us some good faces there.
7-2.
Second time for Annett Kaufmann into the net.
We have to remember it's the order of play that has now changed. So Annett Kaufmann receiving those serves. 2 in a row, reverse pendulum. Kuaiman causing some trouble. But the pressure that's on Annett Kaufmann is also not just keeping it on the table, but keeping it uncomfortable for one of the most powerful players in the world.
2-9.
Some really explosive stuff in that rally. Kuai and Lin coming out on top, forcing the Germans into really uncomfortable positions.
Yeah, it'll be a fine balance every time of risk assessment, how much spin, how much arc to put on the ball, but a very different scoreline than we saw after that 5-point lead in game 1. It's 8 game points now for the world #1 pair.
And that is probably the response that we should have expected. Kuaiman, Lin Shidong equal up, and they do so in dominant fashion, making light work of game number 2, leveling up at 1 apiece here.
这是在你的抢攻点上面，比如说拿着发球，就什么球，这女孩、一个男孩，就是包括这个也可以发，这么也发不过去，他就你发了，你没事吧？对不对？他就这么一发，他这一捅，他捅不出来的时候，反手一拉就行。另外。
Confirmation then, Kuaiman, Lin Shidong sitting at the top of the standings, and by quite some distance as well. Almost double the number of points that Im Jong-hoon and Shin Yubin have, the Korean pair, best of the rest. Now game number 3. What can we expect? What kind of a response can we expect from this German pair? Will we see Kuaiman and Lin Shidong just press on after that emphatic game 2 win?
Well, it's back to the order of play that we saw in game number 1, which did favor the German pair.
1 love.
Perfect setup, the short game. You asked me in the beginning what it would take for the German pair, and we're seeing it out here in the 3rd game. Touch, touch, and then the flick to get in aggressively inside the table. Keep the opponents guessing, a step behind the table. Easier said than done, but so far, done well.
1-2.
Curse of the commentator, but the first 2 points for the German pair following such a strategy. Now this was the serve that was causing Annett Kaufmann some trouble in game number 2. And this time it's Franz on the receive playing it passively, and Lin Shidong showing what he can do with a passive ball for a 3rd ball attack.
3-2.
Nicely done. That's the Annett Kaufmann that we know. She was so effective with shots like that in that women's doubles match alongside Yang Zileo to defeat Linda Bergstrom and Christina Scharberg, the Swedish pair.
3-3.
Perfect placement on this and heavy spin, stretching Annett Kaufmann out, trying to get her to move over into the space that would eventually be needed on the next ball by Franz. If she turns for the forehand there, she still has space, but that's a perfectly placed ball. It keeps you guessing on the other side.
Well, Kuaiman was so solid there, wasn't she? Just couldn't hang on enough in the end, coming under constant pressure from Kaufmann.
Yeah, I think Annett Kaufmann to go deep to the backhand, play the short side of the table behind the movement. Really took some risks there, right near the thick of the blue.
Kuaiman won't be beaten twice.
Yeah, the forehand flick, such a crucial shot. Both sides have this in their repertoire. It's a lot of spin coming in from Lin Shidong behind the table. Franz with a big save on the move here. Hits it behind him with side and top spin from way under the table. Lin Shidong produces that. Yeah, Chole, Choa indeed. It's a beautiful shot produced by the world #1.
6-4.
Well, is this a turning point now in game number 3, now that the top seeds have got their noses slightly ahead?
6-5.
This is the first time I can recall someone pushing long to Lin Shidong off of that reverse pendulum serve where it worked out in their favor. That could be a fault of my memory, but between Annett Kaufmann on receive in game 2, and Patrick Franzlska pushing on the receive, last time around it worked out for Lin Shidong and kuaiman.
5-7.
Great serving from kuaiman.
Yeah, this is something different here. Patrick Franzlska saying, I'm willing to cross over here to get that backhand in for a bit more spin. So it was a gamble, but in some senses, I think the facial expression basically says he counted on himself to at least make the shot. That's what the backhand was about, more spin, less risk. Love the quality of the rallies here. The exchanges from behind the table took a lot of high-quality shots. We've seen it time and time again from kuaiman and Lin Shidong. And of course, after taking the first game, Patrick Franzlska and Annett Kaufmann as well.
6-7.
But again, just a reminder, we're watching world number 1 for Team China versus world number 57.
8-6.
And it's close. It's really tight. That is the backhand here. Lin Shidong putting himself in position first, then setting the wrist back. Feet are the first to get there. Sets up camp.
Please don't use flash.
Making sure that the teammates have good vision here. No distractions, flashes in the crowd.
8-7.
Well, it was that brilliant ball placement from Franzlska that really sort of set up the problems for the Chinese.
And a little bit more off the net there. And a timeout now from Xiao Zhan, because sometimes a break like that off the net in a crucial moment could cause you to feel a little bit unlucky. Could be a little bit distracting. Time to come back to class, get focused, figure this out.
不敢批你，还有一个就是他发生状态。那我看，就让他摆着，我就看我哪台我只能摆短劈长，我摆着都。你就是你摆短和劈长选一个，这个球叫坚决就是说，如果他摆住你以后，他直接打你中间长，让他拉你一下，还是说你反拉，还是回你一下，他再回你，回你和劈长这两个，你要选择哪个？来，你们来说，这个说，局面现在都在我们这，就是他摆住他以后。就是找你要这个点。 有进入点，主要是由半队开始摆的。你就两边上手嘛。他摆我，我再回他的防守。回他的反手，你别往后退了，这他还会割你正手就。如果他快捅你反手，哎，不用那么狠，那女孩你拉到他正手就凉着了。换过来的接发球，哎，换过来接发球，自如一样往前顶，他们还会回你。你好。
Plenty to say, plenty to think about for kuaiman and Lin Shidong as they head back to the table. They'll be desperate to put some daylight between themselves and this spirited German pair. They just can't seem to shake them, can they, in game number 3?
They're hanging on, but in game number 1, the only game they've won so far, they were on the other side of this scoreboard with a lead at this point in the game. And game number 2 is quite one-way traffic, favoring the world number 1s with the serves here.
7-9.
It's brilliantly done, inspired play from kuaiman.
Yeah, after all that talk, the little bit that I heard, this was wonderful short touch to leave it dangerously close to that side of the table on the backhand for Franz.
7-10.
And that's 3 game points then. Well, the timeout cashed in, 11 points to 7. kuaiman, Lin Shidong, the top seeds here, the world number 1s, consolidating their lead in this best of 5. 1 game away from a place in the quarterfinals here.
So a little look here at the ball placement of Lin Shidong and Kuaiman. Okay, depending on which player is receiving, you can basically see that with the occasions of hitting it near the end, they're playing a lot of angles, they're playing the middle, and this is the footwork of Franz and Annett Kaufmann. So, a righty and a lefty, you can expect so much balance here, as the heat map would show.
Next up, women's singles. That is Adriana Diaz taking on China's number 2 seed, Wang Menyu. That's to follow. As a look then at the world number 2. Practicing hard ahead of her showdown with Diaz.
Why?
Yeah, she'll have a little bit left to prove after Chun Yi got the best of her in Yokohama. And an early exit in Vegas as well.
To serve. Love all.
A lot of pressure on her given the results for the Chinese players today.
One love.
Some anyway.
Yeah, Lin Shidong holding his own in that regard as well, with a lot of pressure. Men exiting the event. We'll talk about that. Lots of matches left today.
1-1.
Well, this is a must-win, Kaufmann and Franzlska. They are to remain in this match. How do you think they'll cope with the pressure here?
It's a question of time, but I think they'll do their best. I think they'll adjust, take their chances. Play fearlessly, but with focus. It's a fine balance. It's easy to get in your head when you look down from the tightrope. But I think they know at this level what gets the best performances out of them.
1-3.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant stuff from the Germans. Lin Shidong looked as though he had that rally won, didn't he?
Lin.
Good variation here. Kuaiman with a deep push right to the baseline. I think tactically, Annett Kaufmann and Patrick Franzlska are just simply trying to be very decisive early on so that they get in position, less backswing, full commitment where they can, just to be a little bit faster and keep their positioning closer to the table. They both have power. Annett has a wonderful backhand, Patrick Franzlska the same, and we've seen him on the forehands. They're just dealing with the best pair in the world right now. Look at that coverage there, Kuaiman, with a Patrick Franzlska below the table drive, is able to simply control it uncomfortably back.
3-4.
Extra spin from Lin Shidong behind the table. It's been tough for both to contain, and a timeout now on the German side, down by 1 in what could be their last game of this match if they don't turn things around.
Also die hat den so reingedrückt, den Ball. Den einen Ball, das war nicht so einfach. Annett spielt parallel, dann kriegst du den letzten Weg vor. Vielleicht dann einfach nicht mal auf Mitte.
Ja, viel besser. Gegen ihn viel besser. Weil wenn du parallel spielst gegen ihn, er spielt wie immer in Vorhand.
Und dann geht es so tief. Versucht diese Diagonal zu spielen, diese Vor. Ja. Manchmal aber nicht so einfach, wenn ich anders stehe. Wenn du schaffst, ja?
Soll ich Gegenläufer machen oder spielen wir kurz sind wir eigentlich besser?
Genau, das ist so.
Ich mache einen geraden, ich bin kurz, nochmal kurz. Ja, wenn du zu spät bist, schubst du lange runter. Ja. Gut. Genau, kurz.
Wir sind da,
Ja, let's go, komm.
So we saw how well the Chinese pair did after their timeout. Will the German timeout yield the same results? Play short, use the diagonal.
Three, 4.
Well, Kaufmann looked as though she was caught off balance there, recovered well.
Exactly. Turns, spinned it up shallowly, a little bit of an awkward ball. Something just to break the rhythm there.
4-5.
Bit of net along the way. Again, just the subtlest change of trajectory can be enough to throw the rhythm.
5-5.
But this time recovered. Something similar this time around. Kuaiman and Lin Shidong, as you mentioned, incredibly adaptable, and it's leveled here at 5 points apiece.
Kuaiman stomps the feet in frustration as she sends that one long.
Six.
Well, what is going to prove to be the difference in game number 4? The German timeout hasn't yielded the same kind of results as China's did, so far anyway. Still plenty of time left to go. But China, after their timeout, they were just dominant, raced through the points.
That said, they have won more points than their opponents here, coming back from their timeout.
6-7.
So the majority, not necessarily dominant, but a fair ratio that they can afford. If they continue with this ratio, they will see game number 5. Oh, surprise, surprise, he hits it behind him. That is crazy. Patrick Franzlska pulled a 360, watch him. Spin, comes back up, wide to the forehand, and without looking, it looked like he was looking at the short side of the table, and he hits it about 4 feet to the left of where his eyes were looking. Wow.
9-6.
Momentum swing then.
6 points for the German pair since the timeout, only 2 for the world number 1s. 6 of the last 8.
6-10.
And that is 4 game points then, this to send us to a decider here. It's been a real confident, resilient game for the Germans.
7-10.
3 more game points still to play with.
Quite a receive by Kaufmann this time around. The reverse pendulum that had haunted both her and Franz on receive. She gets aggressive here, perfectly on the parallel. Lin Shidong plays it shallow, spinny, keeps it low to save another game point. 2 saved, 2 more to go for the German pair to send this to where they must go if they are to win, or at least have a chance. Game 5 to decide it.
Oh, Franzlska, he does it at the 3rd time of asking. The Germans let out a scream of delight. We are going the distance here.
Die machen auch nichts Besonderes.
Ja, genau.
Genauso wie eben, wenn die kurz spielen und du bist spät, kannst der Kuaiman auch im Vorschub und Start und parallel. Das war perfekt. Und sonst spielen wir kurz. Achten Sie mal auf, wir müssen nicht spielen.
Sehr gut. Rückschlag war super.
Ja.
Jetzt auf diese...
然后换过来以后还是主攻你的，你可以把这个，你可以主动出你的空间，让他起，让他反攻这一下，明白我说的了吗？五分以球你可以什么展开的球，你可以用这板球来展开，好吗？啊，没关系，板球上手的时候其实做的很好，脚啊那些，哎，这个落地，落地啊。
Here we go then, the decider. Whoever wins this will be through to face Lin Cheng of Chinese Taipei or Christian Carlsen and Christina Scharberg of Sweden. That is the final match in this evening session.
Kaufmann to serve.
The other mixed doubles in this side of the draw.
Love 1.
Wow.
I'd like to tell you that one pattern of play favors a certain side much more than the other, but they've each won a game in each order of play. That said, the most dominant game was this order of play for the Chinese pair. They won 11-2 in game 2.
1-2.
And were beaten 11-8 in this order of play. So when they get to 5 points, or at least one side gets to 5 points, they will switch sides and the order of play to keep things balanced. Shuang Yu, double fish table there.
2-2.
Well, there was some talk about the kuaiman serve in the breaker games there, and that's been a real weapon, hasn't it, for the top seeds?
I was thinking about TTR in general. It's come in quite handy in some matches in righties versus lefties. I think it'll come up more and more.
2-3.
But in doubles of any type, mixed doubles, men's or women's doubles, you must serve on the right side of the table on the diagonal. So that means from a view standpoint, it's a little bit different.
3-3.
Brilliant serving from Patrick Franzlska. Lin Shidong couldn't really get a read on that.
Heavy, heavy underspin. Subtle, well disguised. Tested the short forehand part of the table. Annett Kaufmann leaves it inside just behind the net for kuaiman to cross over, play that forehand flick right into where Franz is standing. Oh, this is too good. The quality of shot, Franz getting low for this. Annett Kaufmann goes parallel with the follow-up. At least tries. It was Lin Shidong on the parallel, hitting an unreturnable shot.
4-5.
Well, Franzlska did really well there with the step around, didn't he? But Annett Kaufmann just couldn't sustain that rally.
Well, you could tell by the follow-through that he was jammed up. He had to play it very cautiously to pull up. Couldn't play a lot of power, just a bit of spin. So it wasn't an easy ball on either side, but the world number one's world number one for a reason. So they switch sides of the table. And with that, the order of play as well. Second serve here for Annett Kaufmann with a new receiver this time around, Lin Shidong.
5-5.
It was a lovely touch play before Lin Shidong decided to attack and found the net instead.
So the attack here, opener by Annett Kaufmann getting the net. A little bit of fortune why the German pair apologizes here.
Real firepower from Franzlska.
We talked about the order of play, and point for point, this is the order of play that has favored the German pair ever so slightly. I take that back. That said, they're playing wonderfully right now. This is the same order of play as games number 2 and 4. So, I would say the Chinese pair prefer this order of play, which is why I took back my statement. 2-point ball game out of the second towel break. And it's Patrick Franzlska trying to set up a third ball for Annett Kaufmann here. I'm just curious. Patrick Franzlska won a point with an outright serve, heavy underspin to Lin Shidong before. It almost makes you wonder if he could have the same results against Kuaiman, if she would have adapted based on her partner's result. Kuaiman on the move. How does she play that ball right off the bounce? She didn't come settled. She didn't get her feet planted. She was way out. Look at this, sliding through. From this camera angle, it doesn't look nearly as impressive, but she's right on the baseline of the table for that ball. You can see how it affected Annett Kaufmann. Very little time to react, and it's now 7s across the board. Beautiful inside-out flick. The forehand of Franz comes across the ball into the wide forehand of the lefty. Gets her to cross over. Touch play. Just a little height on that. And to guide that ball, that is such a high-risk shot under pressure. And it sets up a 1-point lead for the receiving German pair.
Left. 7-8.
I like that. Let. Don't hear that from the players too much. Confidence from Kaufmann.
And that was real confidence from Kaufmann as well.
That said, the answer once again, Lin Shidong on the other side of the table. Man, that's a quick reaction. Not just to play a quality shot back, but in a place where Patrick Franzlska has to lean to try and get out of the way.
8-9.
Well, these are nervy moments, aren't they, as we draw towards the end of game number 5, and with it, the match. This has been a fascinating decider. The lead changing between both pairs.
10-8.
Well, a stroke of fortune for the top seeds as they earn themselves 2 match points.
Yeah, you could see here how flustered the German pair was by this double happiness, net and edge. This is not a recoverable shot. Yeah, the German pair had their share of fortune, even in game 5, but this was a little bit extra special, and it sets up 2 match points for the #1 seeds.
$10-8.
Kaufmann into the net, and it's Lin Shidong Kuaiman who advance through to the quarter-final. It was a thriller, a 5-game epic between these two pairs. Congratulations, though, credit to Patrick Franzlska and Annett Kaufmann for taking it to a 5th. But the class of Kuaiman and Lin Shidong prevailing, and they seal their place in the last 8.
This is a big win for Team China today. It hasn't been the easiest of days nor events, but Lin Shidong, for a 2nd time on the table, manages to get through. You can see how close they were, how close they felt, leading fairly well, actually, coming into that decider after being down 4-5 at the switch. They came back. The German pair was tough, but in a very tough battle against a strong opponent in world #1, they showed why they are world #1 and live to see another match in this event. Kuaiman and Lin Shidong with the better facial expressions, or at least endorphins running through them right now. You can imagine at least fulfilling the expected wishes of Team China, the world rankings, and basically what the paper had written for them. Good match by all, but these two here, the better here today.
There we go, that's how it panned out. 10 points more in total in favor of the top seeds, Kuaiman and Lin Shidong. And more effective on serve as well. Almost 10% more for them. Over 10% more, I should say. Almost 40 minutes on the clock as well for the 5 games. Congratulations, Lin Shidong, Kuaiman. We'll see you in the quarterfinals. Next up then, Adriana Diaz of Puerto Rico taking on the 2nd seed, Wang Manyu. That is coming up in just a few moments' time.
Here in Malmo, the Renaissance Arena has been treated to some doubles delight, doubles drama to start off this third day's evening session. And what fun that was as the #1 seeds, Lin Shidong and KUAI, did what they did today in their respective singles outings and picked up a win. But it was a tough one, pushed all the way by Franzlska and Kaufmann, the Germans, who played really, really well. We've got Adriana Diaz against Wang Wanyu to come in just a moment, followed by Simon Gauzy against Kanak Jia. But this women's singles match